is like the weighing, ladies and gentlemen, before a big fight. This is the Suzuki Challenge Series Swift Cup as we are about to commence racing here at Bushy Park.
The championship being led by Trinidad and Tobago's Ryan Perot with 3 wins to his credit. Mark Thompson has won twice. He's in second place. The Digicel twins, Ryan Wood and Darrell Clark, are third and fourth. Josh Reed, he is in 5th place. Returning after missing round 2 is Kenrick Snapper Husband. 7th is Barry Gale. Then we've got David Somerville Jr. from Jamaica. Kurt Thompson from Barbados. Sean Gill making his 2nd appearance. Jason Parkinson, a newcomer last time out. And this time the newcomer is rally legend Paul Bourne. We've seen him often at the wheel of rally cars, indeed winning Rally Barbados twice in the past. Now he's going to try his hand at circuit racing.
It's the Suzuki Challenge Series Swift Cup. And just like the cars, we're going to make a swift break. It's the finest of man and machine here at Bushy Park. We are back for more motor racing.
The closest qualifying session so far this season, the top 10 drivers covered by just 1 second, with Ryan Perot, the championship contenders, on the front row, David Somerville and Ryan Wood behind them, and new, of course, at the tail end of the grid there, the arrival of Paul Bourne. And at the start of the 8-lap race on the 2.01 kilometre Bushy Park Barbados circuit, it's all very close as they run down through the kick. Oh, bouncing over the curbs there on the left was Snapper Husbands, but it is Ryan Perot from Mark Thompson as they ease out of the hammer down towards Shatchek on this first lap. David Somerville Jr. there in 3rd place, the Jamaican multi-champion in the Simpson finance-supported Suzuki Swift Sport. He's sort of bringing the rest of the field along behind him as Perot in the black Team Suzuki car and Mark Thompson in the maroon car. They're managing to eke out a little bit of advantage already. Up over Millbrow, Barry Gale in the background then running a little wide and kicking up some dust. Perot now into the left-hander at the dipper. We're in car with Jason Parkinson challenging Snapper Husbands for 6th place. Is he going to be able to ease past? If he does, no he doesn't. Snapper fights back as they approach the breaking point for the Banks S's. So Snapper holds on to that 6th place for the moment. Back with the race leader Ryan Perot coming towards the end of lap 1 out of 8. He's got about 5 to 6 car lengths at the moment, his advantage over Mark Thompson. Down through the kink they go. Thompson locks the rear wheels under braking a little bit there, gets sort of those little puffs of smoke, and doesn't help him though. He's still roughly the same distance behind Perot, with Somerville 3rd. And the first of the 2 Digicel cars of Ryan Wood in 4th place, chased by Josh Reed, and Snapper Husbands bringing up the tail end of the top 6 at the moment. Side-by-side motoring going on behind him as well though, because there's a challenge there by Kurt Thompson, in the Glass Esco car on Jason Parkinson, and Thompson eases up the inside as they go down into the dipper. Parkinson looks to fight back as they come out through the MQI Bullet. Is he able to maintain his momentum? No, he doesn't. So we have a new change of place. The in-car was Sean Gill. He's all over the place. Oh, with Darrell Clark to his left there. 2 wheels up in the air from Darrell as he clipped the curb. He's lost that place to Sean Gill as well as a result of that, as we're coming to the end of the 2nd lap. On to lap 3. Still a close battle going on there between Sean Gill, only just ahead in the blue Team Suzuki car of Darrell Clark. So the more experienced, certainly in recent times, circuit racer Darrell Clark managing to cling on to the coattails of Sean Gill at the moment. Back in car with Kurt Thompson. Snapper Husbands his next target, having passed at this point on the previous lap Jason Parkinson. And chasing on then. Good progress by Kurt Thompson. He's got through. Snapper is behind him. Parkinson's behind him. on to lap 4. Positions remain the same at the front. Black from Maroon, Perot from Mark Thompson, with David Somerville Jr. running in 3rd place. Pretty lonely 3rd place at the moment. Another challenge. Snapper Husbands on Jason Parkinson. Snapper on the inside as they go through the W's. Does he keep his momentum up? Yes, he does. And so Snapper is through ahead of Parkinson and up into what will be 5th place on the 4th lap out of 8, therefore approaching half distance in this first race of the day. But Snapper gets the dipper and the exit of the bullet all wrong, runs really wide, and Jason Parkinson charges back through. Does he hold on to it? No, yes he does, just as they go into the Banks S's. Good little battle there. Down at the tail end of the field, Barry Gale in the Black Gales Agro Products Swift Sport, just ahead of the Team ICBL car of Paul Bourne on his debut in the Suzuki Challenge Series Swift Cup. At the end of the 4th lap, we're running in car at the moment as we go on to lap 5 with Sean Gill. He's behind Snapper and Jason Parkinson and gaining quite significantly as he exits the W's up over Millbrow. We'll be making some progress. Yeah, there he is. We can see him tucked right in behind Snapper now. He eases out to see if he can dive alongside going into the depot. He's not quite close enough. Needs a little bit more of a tow along the next couple of straights before he's going to be there and able to challenge Snapper Husbands. Good to see these little battles right the way down through the 12-car field in this first of 3 races in round 3 of the Swift Cup. Riding with Sean Gill as he sizes up Snapper's lines around the circuit. And a lock break there, both from Thompson and Somerville as they turn into the Hammer on lap 6. Just 2 and a bit laps to go then. Doesn't look to me as though Ryan Perot is going to get caught, but that's not to say there's not going to be more movement down the field. Back in car with Kurt Thompson coming up behind Josh Reed in the Massey United Insurance Swift Sport. Is Thompson going to be able to deal with him as he's dealt with Jason Parkinson and Snapper Husband on the previous couple of laps? Well, he's certainly easing closer towards him. Good time to mention actually that Kurt Thompson, of course, is actually the Swift Cup lap record holder, having set the fastest lap in each of the first 2 race meetings. He doesn't have the results to show for it. He's certainly got the speed. Coming through the W's, climbing uphill there. He's still challenging, back with the race leader as he comes towards the checkered flag at the end of lap 8. For Ryan Perot then is the winner of the first race in this meeting, chased home by Mark Thompson and David Somerville Jr. And confirmation of the results there. Perot from Thompson, Somerville, Ryan Wood, Josh Reed and Kurt Thompson completing the top 6, with the second half of the field led home in 7th place by Jason Parkinson. Snapper Husbands, those 2 having a great battle throughout the race. Sean Gill, Darrell Clark, Barry Gale and Paul Bourne complete the field.
Started second, finished second. Ran through is on a roll, man.
I know there's a rivalry between Trinidad and Barbados. As I told them today, I don't have any callaloo, but I'm willing to eat some flying fish today.
We just finished on the podium for the first time. I'm elated. We've been consistently getting quicker.
We're going to take a little exit to ourselves, but we'll be right back after the break.
Hey, it's an S-Cross. If we weren't stuck on this deserted island, we could
pack up and escape on weekends, because the S-Cross goes a long way on a tank of fuel. It hugs corners tight, and with auto lights and wipers, eyes can stay on the road. And inside, there's heaps of room.
For a family?
Escape in your Suzuki S-Cross.
S-Cross, navigate home.
Suzuki Challenge Series Swift Cup, and look who's exited the car. It's a legendary man himself, and we're going to chat with Paul, the surfer born.
Just came last in my first race, so the good news with that though is I get to start first in the next race.
Good luck to you, Paul. Look forward to seeing you. Good to have you back at the track at Bushy Park.
So race 2 about to get underway. We're in car with Jason Parkinson. You can see the lights under the arch there, and as they go off, the field moves, but Paul Bourne doesn't. He's there on the right in the Team ICBL car. He said he got the advantage of starting from pole position. Well, he hasn't managed to capitalise upon that. Perhaps unfamiliar with the way in which the race starts, not really sure, but he's dropped right down through the field, and it's Barry Gale up there at the sharp end on this first out of 8 laps, all of the Swift Cup races, 8 laps. So it is Barry Gale who is there in the lead at the moment, chased by the whole of the field. Paul Bourne last but one, unfortunately, down there at the back of the field, really caught out by the start lights there. Disappointing, because that could have been a good show for him on his second race in the Swift Cup. We're in car with Mark Thompson chasing Ryan Perot. Of course, the reverse grid puts those two guys who finished at the sharp end of the field last time round, puts them down at the tail end of the field as we approach the end of the opening lap, coming through the Coxburgh turn at the end of the lap. Barry Gale has the advantage at the end of lap 1. In car with Sean Gill. We're lying in third place at the moment, and there's a challenge there by Darrell Clark. Clips the curbs on the inside of the hammer. Did he manage to keep the momentum going down to the down to Shack? No, he didn't. So he has to tuck in behind Barry Gale there. We're on the pit straight, passing the Automotive Art Pits complex, down into the W's for the second time. Barry Gale from Darrell Clark, from Sean Gill. Jason Parkinson is fourth. Fifth, we're in car with Snapper Husbands. Are we going to be able to challenge on the rise over Mill Brow? Well, no, not only are we not able to challenge, but we get challenged by David Somerville Jr. So Parkinson loses a place while trying to size up to make his way past Snapper. He lost a place to David Somerville Jr., who's now up into fifth place. Coming towards the end of the second lap, Josh Reed one's ride. Ryan Perot and Mark Thompson make a little bit of contact there as Thompson's on the inside, coming through the Coxburgh Cyclone towards the end of the lap. And they're side by side under the arch, side by side down through the kink as well. But it's going to be Mark Thompson who gets the advantage as they turn right-handed into the dipper, with Ryan Perot now coming under a challenge also from Kurt Thompson as well. We're in car with Kurt Thompson. Has he got past Perot? Yes, I do believe he's made that manoeuvre stick. So Kurt Thompson now following his brother Mark in 9th and 8th and 9th places. Back in car with Josh Reed, who's coming alongside Snapper, who's got 2 wheels on the mile on the exit of the W's. That'll slow him down just enough for Josh Reed to challenge, but no, Snapper fights back, coming uphill towards the dipper and manages to hold on. Perot fighting back, trying to find a way past the Glass Esco car of Kurt Thompson, but I don't think he's going to be able to make that work. David Somerville now getting into a position to challenge Jason Parkinson. We're coming to the end of the third lap. Down through the hammer. Barry Gale now got a little bit of breathing space back to Darrell Clark, who's also got breathing space back to Sean Gill, who can hardly breathe at all because he's got the whole of the rest of the field right behind him. We're in car at the tail end of that 6-car group with Mark Thompson challenging Josh Reed. Frankly, any of these guys could finish in third place with half of the race yet to go. And a good challenge there by David Somerville Jr. Gets alongside Jason Parkinson on the inside of the W's. He was passed at the apex of the corner, but Jason Parkinson fighting back as they get to the dipper, and David Somerville runs a little bit wide, the Jamaican losing the place back to Jason Parkinson on this half-distance lap, 4 out of the 8. Barry Gale now being caught just a little by Darrell Clark. In third place, Sean Gill. He's now eased away a little bit from the group behind, which is Jason Parkinson, David Somerville, Snapper Husbands and Mark Thompson, as quickly as I can say their names, so they come past the camera lens. On lap 5, the leader now looking much more comfortable in that position, but another 3 laps to go, and as we've already seen in previous Swift Cup races here at Bushy Park Barbados, anything can yet happen. Under the start arch, one of the legacies of the Race of Champions here in December last year, where the starting lights hang and where the start-finish line is. Past the pits complex down towards the W's. Barry Gale goes out of our picture, chased by Darrell Clark, then Sean Gill. Fourth is Jason Parkinson, then Somerville, Snapper Husbands, Mark Thompson, with Josh Reed now getting closer to them, and he's coming under pressure from Kurt Thompson, who we ride in car with now, on the brakes down into the courtesy dipper. He runs a little bit wide. That enables Ryan Perot, the Trinidadian driver and championship leader, to pull alongside as we go up towards the Banks S's. So Kurt Thompson, does he manage to keep Perot behind him? Yes, he does. Perot now 10th out of the 12. At least it means he will pick up 1 point and it could be a point that proves to be valuable towards the end of the season when the final reckoning is done. We're on the penultimate lap, a number of cars running wide there on the exit of the Hammer onto that short straight down towards Shak. Here we are at the W's with the midfield still very closely bunched up. I would say Snapper in the Williams Industries car might well be the next person to try and offer a challenge. He was quite close to David Somerville Jr. First and second are quite well separated. Ryan Wood lying down in 11th place. He's behind Ryan Perot, and he's determined to pick up the final point as they come towards the end of the 7th lap. And Woody's got a little bit more momentum coming out of the final turn. He eases alongside Ryan Perot as they go down into the kink. Is he going to be able to get past him, or are we going to see Ryan Perot no space? He does, but he runs a little bit wide on the exit of the Hammer. That might allow Ryan Perot to get back into the points. At the moment, though, he's 11th. Snapper runs nearly 4 wheels into the gravel there on the exit of the paddock turn. Mark Thompson gains some momentum because of that, or I suppose effectively Snapper lost momentum because of that, and that gives Mark Thompson another place, and that moves him up into 5th. In car with Josh Reed now. Is he going to be able to ease past Snapper? Well, he's getting alongside as they turn into the dipper. Snapper's going to have to run enormously wide if Josh Reed's going to be able to use that same bit of tarmac, but it is going to be Barry Gale who ends up as the winner of our second race of the day, with Darrell Clark coming home in 3rd place. That will be a very happy Barry Gale. Confirmation then on our results sequence. Barry Gale wins from Darrell Clark, Sean Gill, David Somerville Jr., Jason Parkinson and Mark Thompson complete the top 6. Josh Reed, Snapper Husbands, Kurt Thompson, Ryan Perot, Ryan Wood and Paul Bourne. So Perot just picking up that final championship point.
I messed up the start. I had pole position for the race and had like a brain fade. The lights all went red, then they went off, and I sat there like, I think I was waiting for the green light, which is how we use it in rallying. I just brain faded, and when everyone went by, I went, oh yeah, let's go.
It was a good race. It was reverse grid, so I got to start up close to the front. Sean Gill was giving me a fight. I made some mistakes in the beginning, but I kept him behind me, and I came second.
Fun. It really is a lot of fun. Cars are working really good. I remember thinking, all right, this must be the last lap board. No. All right, well, maybe next lap. No. Where's the last lap board? Hurry up.
That was a really amazing race and very, very clean as well. For a reverse grid race where everybody's mixed up, we had a lot going on. We had David Somerville, I think was the biggest winner out of everyone. Ryan Perot, strange for him, he ended up almost near the back. Mark Thompson and Kurt Thompson put some great moves in to make their way up. A couple of brothers moving up through the field, and it was just an incredible race.
We'll be right back after this break.
I feel the sun on my face, and on this day, take me far away. Yeah, I got things. Yeah, I got things. I lift me up.
The fun never ends in the family room. The new Suzuki Ertiga. It's much more than a car.
Suzuki, way of life.
Intense action. It continues to build. We're back, and so too is motor racing at Bushy Park.
The grid for the 3rd race of the day, as usual, decided on championship points scored in the earlier 2 races. On pole is David Somerville Jr., although you can't see him at the moment. He's just obscured by the maroon car of Mark Thompson. Ryan Perot is up there as they head down into the Hammer for the first time in this last 8-lap race of the day. Somerville Jr. gets the shout as he exits from the first right-hander. We're in car with Ryan Perot looking forward and to behind us with Sean Gill in the Team Suzuki car tucked right in behind Perot, who's in 4th place at the moment. Just ahead of Sean Gill and the rest of the field, very, very closely bunched. Back at the sharp end now, Mark Thompson with nobody either side of him, and that's because he's alongside David Somerville, and there's contact there. That was a door mirror on the way. I'm sure the parts bin's got a few of those in, so that can be resolved later in the day. Now, did that manoeuvre mean that Thompson got past Somerville? No, it didn't. So Somerville is still ahead with Mark Thompson right behind him. A little bit of contact there as they turn into the final turn of the opening lap. Very, very close indeed, Somerville from Mark Thompson as they go across the line to start lap 2 through the kink into the hammer. Darrell Clark tucked in behind. 4th is Ryan Perot. 5th is Sean Gill. 6th is Josh Reed. 7th is Jason Parkinson. 8th is Ryan Wood. 9th is Barry Gale. 10th is Kurt Thompson. Snapper and Paul Bourne bringing up the rear of the field. Somerville pulling away quite markedly as they go past the Automotive Art Pits complex on this second out of the 8 laps, and maintaining a slight advantage as he heads uphill over Millbrow, now down on the brakes into the courtesy dipper. Thompson behind him, then Clark, Perot, Gill, Reed and the rest. Quite a lot of curb hopping going on through the field. Jason Parkinson, couple of wheels in the air there midway down through the field. Through the Banks S's we go, very close. Somerville runs a little bit wide on the exit of the C-Sash hairpin and gets a bit of a tap from the Thompson car at the back, and quite obviously slight damage there to the bodywork on the right rear of Somerville's car, but Somerville maintains the lead. Out of shape, Thompson turns into the hammer, gathers the car back together again. These two now, despite the intensity of this battle, easing away from the rest of the field, led by Darrell Clark, Ryan Perot and the rest. Past the pits complex for the 3rd time, down into the W's once again. The Jamaican multidiscipline champion holding on to the advantage at the moment. Uphill over Millbrow again, a length, perhaps 2 lengths, his advantage as they head down into the dipper on this 3rd lap. Somerville maintaining the advantage, less than the length of a Suzuki Swift Sport between the two of them as they exit the Bullet. However, it's closing up again, and even greater as they go into the Banks S's, but at the moment Somerville holding on to the advantage. He turns through the final turn of the 3rd lap, starts lap 4. These two very much the class of the field at the moment, with Darrell Clark bringing up the towing, if you like, the rest of the field along behind him, because it's still very evenly bunched. 3rd down into 12th. Very different lines into the W's, a tighter approach from Somerville. Does that mean he'll run wider and enable Thompson to ease up the inside? Well, no, it didn't. Thompson washed out to the outside of the exit as well, but he's right with him as they go through the dipper. Uphill again now towards the Banks S's, and it's very close in the first element of that. The second left-hand element of the S's, past the first of the suites that has been built, the luxury suites, and they're on to the final turn of lap 4. And suddenly, dramatic slowing there by Mark Thompson. What on earth has happened? I wonder if he missed a gear coming out of the final turn. He's overtaken on the right by Darrell Clark, and on the left by Ryan Perot. Good Lord. Well, what a change of fortunes there for Mark Thompson at the cusp of laps 4 and 5, but he challenges going down into Shack, and he's already back past Ryan Perot and back up into 3rd place in the space of the subsequent 2 corners. I can only think that was a missed gear change there, because I can't think of any other reason why he would suddenly have slowed so dramatically. Anyway, he's right on the tail now of Darrell Clark, heading uphill towards the dipper. Looking down through the field, there's Ryan Wood offering a challenge on Sean Reed. How does that work out? Well, it does sort of work out a little bit, only it didn't in the end, because Josh Reed got back ahead, but also there was a little bit of something that fell off one of the cars. I don't know whether it's one of those sort of inner mudguard type things that tend to sometimes disconnect themselves from the car. Anyway, we're back in car with Mark Thompson right on the tail of 2nd place Darrell Clark. We're on lap 6 out of the 8 now. Ryan Perot is 4th, Sean Gill is 5th, Josh Reed back there in 6th place. 7th is Snapper Husbands. We're in car again with Mark Thompson. Here we are at the dipper. Darrell Clark is the man in 2nd place, and there's a bit of a touch there on the right rear of Darrell Clark's car. That enables Mark Thompson to ease past going into the S's, so he's now up into 2nd place, but more than a second adrift of the race leader, David Somerville Jr., as he starts lap 8. Out of shape again, braking for the right-hander there at the hammer, one of the traditional 1970s corners retained here at Bushy Park during the redevelopment. The Kink, the Hammer and Shack Shack were three familiar names from more than 40 years ago. But the new section is what they're now on, uphill from the W's towards the Dipper. And gaining is Thompson all the time, and he's almost got the front wheels of his Swift alongside the rear of David Somerville, and there's contact there. Somerville gets out of shape, catches it extremely well. That was at Shack Shack, gets it out, gets it sorted out into the right and left of Paddock, and now down into the W's they go. A bit of flapping bodywork there. There's another contact there. Thompson tapping the rear of Somerville. A love tap, they call that, in the British Touring Car Championship. So coming uphill now out of the W's, the last 2 or 3 turns of the final lap. Is Thompson going to be able to challenge? Well, he's right alongside Somerville as they go down. There's more contact between the two of them, a rubbing of mirrors. Well, there would be if Somerville had one on his driver's door. And this time it looks as though Thompson might be 3-exiting the Dipper. No, he's not. And it looks now as though, that's a length and a half. Thompson closes right up in the S. He's very quick there through the Banks S's. Somerville through the C-Sash hairpin for the time of time. All 4 wheels over the curb and onto the marl on the exit of the turn, but not enough to lose him momentum. And so David Somerville becomes the 4th winner of a Suzuki Swift Cup race, and well done to him. Confirmation of the results, and you'll see Mark Thompson's name not there, having been disqualified for driving standards. So Somerville from Darrell Clark, Ryan Perot, Josh Reed, Kurt Thompson and Ryan Wood completing the top 6. Sean Gill, Jason Parkinson, Barry Gale, Kenrick Husbands and Paul Bourne, with Mark Thompson disqualified from the results.
I had a lovely race going. It was David Somerville and I. These little Swifts are the bomb.
I was able to gain second and then drop back to third, but it was one of my best races for the day and I had a lot of fun.
Oh, that was to the finish, to the checkered flag, heart in the mouth. The excitement is just so much.
And that disqualification having cost Mark Thompson dear in the championship points chase. Now 39 points adrift of Ryan Perot, with Darrell Clark, Ryan Wood, Josh Reed and David Somerville completing the top 6.
We take you back to the guys who are legends here at Bushy Park. Names like Doug Maloney, Peter Thompson, Lincoln Waterman, Simon Gilmore, Trevor Mapp, Freddie Mapp and Hallam Edwards. They're going to be out here on the track. These are guys who are legends in their own time. Unlike me, I'm a legend in my own mind.
Oh, Vic, you're too modest. This was a great moment on this race day. These guys, people like Lincoln Waterman, Hallam Edwards, who were famous in the 70s, Lincoln in his Escort, Hallam Edwards in his Mini. An opportunity to race some of the guys who've continued racing, like Doug Maloney, who's ready and willing always to compete in the Caribbean Motor Racing Championship and represent Barbados. Simon Gilmore, who's still in action as well. But it was this man who won, Peter Thompson. As ever, the prize giving brings the day to an end. Tanya Menzies of Digicel handing over the trophies to the top 3 scorers in the Swift Cup this weekend. David Somerville in the centre, Ryan Perot, very vigorous and shaking, and on the left, Darrell Clark.
The Suzuki Challenge Series Swift Cup. Another exciting day here at Bushy Park. Another day of evenly matched men and machine racing around the track, using their skills and coming up with lots of exciting racing for you, the viewer. We're going to do it again next time, but for now, it's goodbye from Bushy Park.